In this video, I'm going to step you through the process of building an app that displays two buttons, and when you press each button, it speaks a message. We're going to start by uploading some images that we can use on the buttons. So drag the image files to the Files section, and you can see that it includes them in the project. Now, we're going to add a row component. And inside that row component, we're going to put two buttons. And since this is a row, it's going to line them up next to each other. Now, when I add components, and this is something I encourage you to do, there's no rule about how you have to name these components, but when we get into more sophisticated, more complicated apps, it's really helpful to be able to keep track of what everything is if you have descriptive names. And the convention that I like to use is to start with some sort of abbreviation that lets me know what the component is. So in this case, a button, and then something about what I expect it to do. So this is going to be my yes button. It's going to say yes when I press it. One thing that I'm not super happy with for Thunkable is how it handles images on buttons. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the button. So let's add the check mark to it. And you can see the button's really small and it's hard to see that check mark. So I'm going to change the height. Give it a relative size of 25%. So now it's bigger. And now let's do the same thing for the no button. So change the name, give it something descriptive, change its label, give it a background picture of an X, and then change its height. And now the last thing we need to do is add a text-to-speech component. All right, now we've got our user interface set up. We can work on the blocks. We're going to need two event handlers. One for when the yes button is clicked, and one for when the no button is clicked. When the yes button is clicked, we want to have our text-to-speech say the word yes. And when the no button is clicked, we want to call text-to-speech and have it say no. So let's test this out.
Yes. No.